You're watching PEGRI TV, Rhode Island's public access channel.
Welcome to Jazz Talk. I have a very special guest who came here from a considerable distance to do the Boston Jazz Festival. I guess you're there for 2 days, but since you're around the area, you agreed to come on the show. Charu,
Charu Suri.
Charu Suri.
I get my name pronounced like a French star, and I love it.
Yeah.
Charu Suri. It's a pleasure to be here with you. Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about yourself. You're originally from India.
I was born in India. I was a concert pianist from when I was very young.
Okay. So you played the classical realm.
Played the classical route, and I was on stage from the time I was 7 years old.
Okay.
And playing, Chopin, Debussy, everything when I was a young girl. And then I really wanted to further my music studies in the United States, and I came here for college. Yeah.
Where did you end up going?
I ended up going to Princeton University.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And at that time, I did not know anything about whether it was a good school or whether it was a big school.
Yeah.
I asked everyone I got into Princeton, is that a good thing? They're like, is that a good thing? You better go there, girl. And I was like, it's a great chance for me to further my music education.
So you had a good academic record in order to get in there.
I did, exactly. I had both the academics, and then I guess they must have liked the fact that I was a young girl from South India playing all of these amazing concerts, and they'd never seen anything like that before, because that is an anomaly.
Yeah. So I guess during your time in Princeton, you got introduced maybe to jazz or listened to it?
I did, and jazz was something I was introduced to even before then, because I started my piano lessons. I was born in India, but then my father got a job in Africa and Nigeria as the CEO of a record label. Right. So we emigrated there when I was 5, and we had this amazingly beautiful house with a piano. Yeah. And he would come back home with vinyl after vinyl from all genres.
Oh yeah.
So by the time I was 6, I probably knew every piece of every style, from, pop, Michael Jackson, to Miles Davis.
Yeah.
And we would play all of those in the turntable at home. And when I came back to India, I furthered my music education. So I got exposed to jazz way before I went to Princeton.
So you have a master's degree?
I have a master's degree from Manhattan School of Music in in performance and composition.
Wow.
As well.
That's great.
Yeah.
So you, besides having a busy touring schedule and performance schedule, you also do some work for Princeton, like recruitment and admissions?
I do. I loved my time there, even though the first year I was there was the blizzard of the century. And I curled up in my dorm. I said, I'm not graduating. I think I'm going to stay in my dorm, because I'd never seen this much snow. But it was one of the most formative 4 years of my life.
Good.
In Princeton, I got a chance to compose for the symphony orchestra and the chamber ensemble, and Yo-Yo Ma and Edgar Meyer played in my pieces.
Wow.
And they nurtured my voice, they encouraged it. The sky was the limit there. In fact, the word impossible was not allowed. So I loved my time there. So I interview for them every single year, interview candidates for admission. Yeah.
So you probably experienced what a guest I had originally from India who teaches at Berkeley, Laszlo Gardoni. He teaches there now.
Oh, okay.
Your playing got a lot deeper probably over there.
Yes, it did.
More depth to it. Yeah.
I think I was really, I think Princeton made me realize that, I am playing to a very learned audience.
Yeah.
And they've already heard it, so many things.
Yeah.
You don't have to school them on the basics. Give them something new and interesting, and that made me work harder for it.
And one of the things he pointed out, Laszlo, in the interview we did was, and it's true, once he said, I 1,000,000,000% agree with it. He came to Berkeley specifically, classical background like you, and also got into progressive rock and that kind of thing. So he wanted to get deeper, so he went to Berkeley. And one of the things he figured out along the way is some musicians, they multi-genre, they play different things. He said one of the things, like if you're playing with a lot of big GB groups, general business, and they have festivals and all kinds of things, you can't get deeper playing with those type of bands.
Yeah.
You have to play what they're playing.
Yes.
And it's a different audience than what you're performing.
Absolutely, and I think that the same is true for like film music and a couple of other, styles. Sometimes you have to give the film what they want.
Yeah.
You can't just do your own thing, because that's
right.
not going to go with what the director wants.
That's right.
And I think it's a fine line. I think knowing your audience and knowing what it is that they want is also part of the game in terms of composing. So I learned a lot when I was in Princeton about writing for a voice and the orchestra and writing, to bring their best foot forward.
Yep.
Yeah.
I know some artists. I had one who taught at Berkeley. He's still up there, Greg Hopkins. He's a trumpet player, and he'll play different instruments just to get the feel of it. So when he does write a chart,
he knows.
He's how to,
I've done that with a few instruments, but mostly I sit and talk to them.
Yeah.
They talk about their positioning, and like I wrote, I've composed so many albums, and sometimes I have written unplayable music.
Yeah.
And the harpist will tell me, it's like, you're writing like a pianist.
That's
not like a harpist. And I'm like, school me.
Yeah.
Because I am a pianist.
Yeah.
I want to know how to make life easier for you, and so we do a Zoom session.
And one of the things that Laszlo brought up in one of the interviews I did was, if I wrote out every piece for every musician, it'd be the most boring.
Oh, it would be, absolutely. Absolutely. It really would.
Yeah.
Very algorithmic, yes. So I had a great time at Princeton, and I did a lot of composing there, and I'm trying to retrieve some of my old recordings, but I wrote everything out by hand, and it was all meticulous, all my scores and everything. It was wonderful.
Yep. So I'm sure you figured out, if you're writing charts, you write out some basic things and let the players, let their experience, the bass player, the drummer, whatever, let them fill in the rest.
In jazz, yes, not in classical.
No, I know
So
that.
jazz is a relatively new genre for me.
Yeah.
I actually have only been doing it for about 5 years, which a lot of people, when they hear my records, are like, I can't believe that. But it's true, I went to New Orleans, and I fell in love with Preservation Hall Jazz Band, and I started.
Well, you got the depth to play, so that's going to obviously enhance the way you play.
It definitely helps.
Yeah.
I think classical musicians, a lot of great jazz pianists were classically trained. I mean, I love David Brubeck and Bill Evans and, McCoy Tyner. They were all, you can hear it. You can just hear it, how they play. Yeah.
And I think that's a thing that we're going to bring up about the music you play, the styles and different things, how all of these things add to your playing. They add different little wrinkles to your playing.
Yeah.
I'm sure you hear that too when you're playing.
Yes.
And I'm sure people say, oh, wow, you don't play like the typical jazz piano player.
No.
Because you're not.
And actually, it's a good thing.
It is.
One of my determinations when I became a composer, and this was from when I was 5, 6 years old, I was writing music. I was determined to find my own voice.
Yeah.
Because in the end, that is composing.
Yeah.
And I always tell other people, then otherwise you're copying, imitating, you're doing a wonderful job giving another
But you sound
styles.
like that player and this
But
player.
you sound like, I get, people come to my concerts, they're like, you sound like Keith Jarrett a lot. I was like, well, of course, he did a lot of modal work, and he was like one of the first people to put that modality in his playing.
Yeah.
But over the years, probably the greatest compliment I've received is, you sound like Charu Suri. And I'm like, that's great, because that's what you want to sound like, yourself.
So you listen to like a Chick Corea?
Oh my God. So Chick Corea is...
very percussive style of piano
And
playing.
it's so interesting that you say that because in my Book of Ragas Volume 2,
Right.
which is the second Raga Jazz album I did, the second track is an ode to Chick Corea and
yeah.
Gary Burton.
Yeah, that's exactly.
No, right.
I was just about to say that. That's where that style came
Exactly.
from. Playing with the vibe, having the
You
beat.
hit it on the head. And I heard that collaboration and I said, I want to write a raga-based
Right, right.
duet for piano and vibraphone.
Yeah.
And the result is this track called Sankarabharnam, which is a morning raga.
Right.
And we'll talk about ragas in a bit, I know. But that is exactly what it is, piano and vibraphone.
Yeah.
And it's an ode to Chick.
And that performance first came from a Berlin Jazz Festival.
Oh, wow.
At the end of the thing, Manfred Eicher, who's the owner of ECM Records, wanted to have a grand finale, have all the musicians come up and do one last thing. Nobody wanted to do it, and Chick and Gary Burton did, and Manfred said to them, "I'm gonna do a record with you."
That's amazing.
And that's where Crystal Silence came from.
Yes, so Crystal Silence
In
is
72.
the
Oslo, Norway, they did it.
is the influence for me.
Yeah.
And I'm very deeply connected to Chick's family. Bernie Kirsch
Oh, yeah.
wrote the recommendation.
producer,
Yeah. Bernie is in the Hall of Fame for
Yeah.
producing Patti Smith and all of Chick records and
Right.
all of the engineering on Chick's records. I'm very, very close to the family.
Yeah.
He wrote me the recommendation to join the Grammys, the Recording Academy, where I'm
Right.
a member
Yeah.
and now a governor of. So I'm very connected to them.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's been a huge influence. I think with him and also with like Pat Metheny
Oh, yeah.
and Lyle Mays,
Yeah.
I started to really think globally, almost cosmically,
Yeah.
about jazz. And you can hear that the spirituality in my music.
And I think I told you my epiphany was in 2000 when I started thinking of the music in a world perspective, not just American
Exactly.
jazz.
Yes, and what is American jazz? You go to New Orleans.
New Orleans.
You have
yeah.
Zydeco,
Chicago,
African. You
yeah.
have all of those
that.
Dixie
Yeah.
influences. It
Yeah.
is truly a global mindset, which is why I fell in love with New Orleans. It's hard
Yeah.
not to.
Yeah.
The influences are truly global. So
Right.
that's how I think about the music.
Yeah.
And anything that intrigues me, motivates me, I immediately channel into the subconscious.
And the musics I brought up aren't the only things. There's over 100 different styles of Brazilian jazz.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So there's a lot to listen to.
There's a lot to learn.
Lot to
Isn't that
learn.
amazing?
Yeah.
I feel so excited by it all. Yeah.
And I know eventually, further down the road, I think you'll even be even a better piano player. You'll be listening to more stuff, and
Exactly.
you gain from that a lot.
Every concert, every collaboration is a learning experience for me. I brought out quite a few albums, but almost all of them are raga based.
Yeah.
Which is the modal scale found in India, and there's over 500 ragas. And I always say, we kind of don't realize in the Western music world, we have 12 major and 12 minor scales. And
That's
every
it.
classical pianist starts out with the Bach well-tempered clavier. They're playing a fugue, a prelude and fugue from every key. But those are only 12. There's over 500 ragas, which are scales, but in the Eastern flavors. So I didn't consciously try to weave them in. It just sort of organically happened because I studied both Indian music and classical
Like
music.
me, that epiphany I wasn't influenced by anybody. It just came about.
It just happened.
Yeah.
It's the best way.
Yeah, the best way. And then, as I told you, my mother took me to different things, Arabic things, Armenian, Greek music. So all of that stuff I was thinking about it independently, and all of a sudden it just
must have stuck.
It just melded
That's
together.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Yeah. That's the way to do it. When I was very young, my father, who is like a diehard music fan, would take me to concerts by Mandolin Srinivas or M.S. Subbulakshmi and all of the Zakir Hussain, etc. So I grew up with a very high bar. And also my grandmother, who was 96 when she died last year, was a singer like a nightingale.
Right.
And so for me in my house, music was sort of inescapable.
Yep.
And but I learned all the different styles when I was very young. So for me, I couldn't think of jazz in like the traditional way or
Yeah,
classical in the traditional
Yeah.
way. It was always global to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And one of the recent performances you did was fairly recent. Was the last opera house in India you played in
I did. I played for on Valentine's Day. We played at
last year?
this year.
Oh, that's right. It was
Yeah,
this year.
at the
Yeah.
Royal Opera House in
Yeah.
India,
Yeah.
and we did all my work, both the songbook style and the raga jazz, and people loved it. And my sister, who's an amazing singer and a pianist herself, came and sang. And
Oh,
she has an EP coming out. She's phenomenal. She
Good.
lives in Kenya, and we both were trained on the piano and vocally. And she came, and she's now the singer for a lot of my shows.
No, great.
So that concert, I
Yeah.
played with some phenomenal local musicians on the bass and the drums for that show.
So does she sing in the Indian style or English?
Believe it or not, she does know, but she's in Kenya, so she
Okay.
speaks, like she sings in the native
Of the
language
native
there.
language, so-
Yeah, and she knows so many different African languages.
So is that a thing that you're going to pursue further, playing with different players who sing differently, Italian or whatever
I think that definitely is a possibility. My latest album, Cheyenne, just came out last week. It's actually not, it's my first non-jazz album.
Right.
It's a
yeah.
departure from Rags and Ragas, which I
Yeah.
recorded with John Patitucci,
Oh,
Steve
yeah.
Gadd, and Joe
Yeah.
Lasty from Preservation Hall. That was a watershed record
Yeah.
to showing the world, I think, what I wanted to do with raga jazz. And
Yeah.
it made the best jazz albums list in many publications of
Good.
2023, which I was very proud of. But Cheyenne is a different tone, but it still collaborates, still uses evening ragas and ragas, but in a more gentle classical way.
Yeah.
It's returning to my classical roots, and
Sure.
I turned to
Yeah.
that because I was touring so insanely, suffered from lack of sleep, and I said, we need something to slow down and calm.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you know this, but ragas is supposed to be played at a certain time of day.
No, I didn't know that.
Yes, it makes it an interesting way of looking at music compared
Okay.
to the Western scale, which if you
Yeah.
play C major,
Yeah.
you'd be like,
Yeah.
who cares what time of day you play it in?
Right.
But a raga bhageshri or raga kalyani has to be played at sunset because the ancient Indians believed the energies of that mode, which sometimes is 6 notes up, 5 notes down, 4
Right.
notes up, 3
Yeah.
notes down,
Yeah.
will be affected by the time of day. Will give you that energy, appropriate energy and aura.
Right. Right.
So, and at first I was just like, whatever, this is ridiculous. And then I started really leaning in towards it and
Yep.
using it in my compositions. And I played
Yeah.
it to people and I'm like, this has so much morning magic or evening magic or afternoon magic. So I incorporate that
Yeah.
aspect when I'm
Yeah.
playing.
I think you've done a really incredible job with the music you've done.
Oh, thank you.
And it's not cliche-ish
It's
either.
from the heart. It
It's
really
from the heart,
and truly
And that's
from the
what
heart.
makes it
Yeah.
approachable and something that enjoyable to listen to.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah.
The feedback has been quite extraordinary. I
Because
started
of that
this.
reason, because of those reasons.
It started as an experiment.
Yeah,
I started
yeah.
doing the ragas and composition as a complete experiment. I was just
Yeah.
like, okay, let me see what it sounds
Yeah.
like. And then I would play standards at a show. Then I would play my raga jazz.
Right.
And everyone would be like, what is that you played that was different? What was it? And I was just like, well, that was my own thing. It's like, play more of that. We want to hear that and not
Yeah.
the others because
Yeah.
we've heard the others before.
Right.
So I felt encouraged
That's
to
great.
take it deeper.
You definitely have really understand what you need to do in music, because some, like we talked about earlier, that some players just try to copy other piano players or anything
Yeah.
else. It's like,
It doesn't
it's
always
not them.
work. Yeah, that
not them.
doesn't. I say that to everyone who's doing composing and performing.
It's nice to learn from them, but
Yes.
you have to
Yes.
do your own thing.
Be you.
Yeah,
And the courage to be you is the struggle.
that's the
Many
struggle.
artists are afraid to be themselves.
That's right, yeah.
But when I listen to someone like, the Beatles or Michael Jackson, who was so revolutionary, one of my huge influences, even though he's pop and not jazz. I look at magnetic personalities who were not afraid to share their authentic voices. And I tell people, if you can find your authentic self,
That's right.
I guarantee you the listener can too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think what we're hearing, folks, is a template for everyone out there. If they want to do it that way. That's the only way to really do it.
It really is. There's no algorithm, there's no formula, and there's no cutting corners either. I've put in more than my 10,000 hours.
Yeah.
And my parents can attest to that. When I was 6, 7 years old, I was practicing 8, 9 hours a day. I was a kid on the block playing Chopin until 1 in the morning, until my neighbors were like, enough. I'm like, but that's a Chopin nocturne. It's like, we don't care what it is. We need to go to bed.
Right. Yeah.
So I loved practicing.
And then I believe you put all these out yourself.
Yes, I did. I produced all my albums, yes.
Yeah, which is a great thing, because no one has their hand over it and say, well, you really don't want to do this, and then you end up playing formulaic music,
You are
and you don't want
absolutely
that.
right. I've been a huge fan.
That's why you should just do it yourself.
Do it myself. I've been such a huge fan of
Unless you find somebody that has an open ear for this and lets you be you.
Exactly. I've been a huge fan of Taylor Swift and her career, and I think she's like such a genius and so inspiring. And when she owned all her masters outright, I was so happy to hear that, because I think, especially as a girl, as a woman in this business, I feel sometimes it's so easy to pander and to people please and to say, okay, I'll do this not because I want to do it, but because the label's asking me to, or someone else is asking me to. And that's a huge danger.
There's one label, I'm not going to mention them, but they want you to do the American Songbook.
Yes.
Which is fine.
I know.
That's fine.
Yeah.
But don't force that on me. And
Well,
don't force a $30 price point either.
Yeah. So the American Songbook, I actually have an album out called the New American Songbook, which does very well. We play at Carnegie
Something
Hall.
you wanted to do, and not the label saying, having their thumb on you.
It is a style that a lot of people love. In fact, one of the recent collaborations I did in that style is a song called Lately. I did it with my singer friend who's a genius, Cassandra Kubinski, and it won Intercontinental Best Jazz of North America and a lot of awards, and a lot of people gravitate to that. And I'll tell you why. It has lyrics. It's a beautiful song. It came from the heart. Cassandra sings it out of the park.
It's an authentic American song.
It is.
And not just a formulaic and somebody that really doesn't know that genre, but they're just kind of taking a stab at it.
It's a story, right? I think songbook is a story. Like when you listen to Ella Fitzgerald singing Tisket as Tasket, or all the classics, they're telling a story in an authentic way. And I think the listener loves a good story.
They do.
And if you have lyrics like a Billy Joel song, which is, he's another genius influence of mine, people can relate to it.
Yeah.
They can relate to loss, breakup, love, all of that. And Lately is a song about that, being a dreamer, wanting to take a risk, and people can relate to that. But over the years, I've realized I love the songbook, but I really wanted to do something authentic and truly different.
Yeah.
I did not know of Pat Metheny when I started writing my albums. And then when I put out my first Raga Jazz album, one of my first drummers, Jay O'Brien, said, "Your work reminds me of Pat Metheny." And I was like, "Pat who?" And I'm like, "Charu, cover your ears. You don't know who Pat Metheny is? Go right now and go get all his albums." And I did, and I was instantly transformed at how incredible it was. And then, the epiphany was, this is all instrumental. There are no lyrics here.
No lyrics.
And it gave me so much hope that an instrumentalist like me could just put out an instrumental album. And I didn't need a vocalist.
And as you know, he's done solo guitar work.
Yes, exactly. And my latest album, Cheyenne, features amazing musicians like guitarist Jim Kimo West, who is the guitarist for Weird Al Yankovic.
Oh, really?
And
Ah.
he's also a Grammy winner in New Age. He's one of my dear friends. We've produced another album this year called Sounds of Kuumba, which is a global album. So I've toured with him. And there's so many instrumental virtuosi in my latest album, and I started realizing that people want instrumental music. They gravitate towards
Yeah,
it.
plus you've
Yeah.
done some work for a music soundtrack or something like that?
Yes, I composed the music for a film that's coming out called Where the Light Enters You. It's been entered into the Grammys this year, and it is directed by my Oscar and Emmy-winning friend Hemal Trivedi and Matt Elesevich. And Where the Light Enters You is about a story of East and West. It's about a Gujarati tribe in India during COVID and the crisis that happens and everything. And the music that I wrote and the song we just put out called Baisa features Rajasthani singers and a jazz trio.
Oh, really?
It's a really beautiful mix of the two. Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
So what else is on the horizon? I know you've been, plus you teach young people piano.
I
as
do,
well.
I do. We just had our 5th Carnegie Hall concert in July. We premiered Shayan, which is the Sanskrit word for sleep. It's my album that has all these amazing artists, and it uses all evening ragas. So we're trying to take that on the road. We have many concerts, including the Boston Jazz Festival, Hudson Jazz Festival. We'll be in India at the Ambani Center later on next year. And I'm getting Shayan orchestrated for string quartet, orchestra, and a choir to take that on the road. And also Rags and Ragas, a lot of people loved the fact that I did that with Steve Gadd and John Patitucci.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm working on, another version of Rags and Ragas in that style because people love the raga jazz in that album. Yeah, so
that's great.
There's a lot of new things in the pipeline. Very busy.
And something we talked about, but we won't say anything else. Some filming that we might consider.
Yes, yes.
So,
and
so you're booked into next year, I
yeah,
imagine.
I am,
Yeah.
and I've been blessed to play at Carnegie Hall almost every year. We had a sold-out show in July, and it's been such a blessing to have so many collaborations. I'm on 11 records this year.
Wow.
I've been busy in the studio as well as on the road.
Wow.
Yes.
So you stay incredibly busy.
Yes,
man.
yes. And, people can just follow my socials and my website. All my schedule is there.
Yeah.
I just think that it's so amazing that this music has opened doors.
Yeah, that
And
you've been-
attracted audiences that I never thought possible. I have people coming to my shows saying, I heard you there, I heard you there. I'm like, oh my God, it's kind of miraculous, really.
I think you found the formula of how to make that work. Because most people, if they try to venture out of, say a typical straight jazz and do something a little different, and they don't have the depth, that's what kills you.
It's so much work, and I keep telling you, I keep telling people that I've put more than my 10,000 hours in the practice on the piano.
Yeah.
But I've also put a significant amount of time in jazz. Like I still, the genre is new to me, so I take jazz lessons.
Yeah.
And I take raga lessons from a teacher. So I'm trying to really go, not just surface, but really deep.
Deep, yeah.
Because even in a raga, I tell people, like, it's such a complex thing. There are phrases and important notes and styles that are so key to what makes a raga come alive.
Yeah.
And just knowing the notes is just scratching the surface.
That's it. And with that, we have to end this, believe it or not.
Oh my God, can't believe that.
So the next time, there'll be a performance type of thing.
I think so.
Yeah.
I'm excited. Thank you so much for having me.
It's a pleasure having you on.
Yes, it's a
Have to
pleasure
do this
being
again.
here.
All right, thank you for watching Jazz Talk, and like I always say to people, you never know who will be on the show. So
It's a box of candy. Thank you,
that's it.
Steve.
Thank you.